The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
This is the main event.
This is your main event, Mark's Podcast. I'm your first host, lifelong wrestling fan, former radio guy, cat dad, and the man jealous that James Ellsworth got to be Carmella's lapdog. I am Troy. And with me, as always, is the main event collector and figure hunting warrior. He is the WWE Walking Wrestling Encyclopedia and the Big E to my Kofi Kingston. It's Greg. What's up, Greg?
What up? I was trying to think of something clever, but...
Oh, podcast land. I don't know.
Sweaty men slapping meat.
Oh, we're going to get a lot of big meaty men smacking meat on this podcast, man. And I am here for
man.
it. I'm here for it. You know, I'll say this. Going back, you and I looked at this card again after it was booked, and we were like, eh. And overall, the show was, you know, it was what it was. But I don't know. Memories came flooding back because I was, you know, watching religiously around this time. And I don't know, the show was, I thought, was at least fun. Even if some of the quality was a little lackluster, it was fun for me. What about you?
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't my favorite Money in the Bank, that's for damn sure, but it was fine. We'll get into some of these matches that some of them I feel like, really? You looked at this and was like, this deserves, you know, a long ass runtime. But you know, whatever. I guess you got to fill 4 hours somehow, man. But we'll get into all of that. 2018 was an interesting year. I forget, did you and I, well, you probably went to live events. I don't think I went to any events with you this year, did I?
Did you go to Survivor Series this year?
Was it Survivor Series 2018?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I forget off the top of my head. Well, no, we went to, it was WrestleMania 34 was this year, right? So I guess we did go to an event. the big event, actually. 2018. Okay, so we met up for WrestleMania. Usually we go to like one per year.
So I think we went 19, yeah.
Yeah, 19, was the one at Rosemont. Ironically enough, this one was also at in Rosemont. So it's a pretty cool building. I like the vibe of that area. You and I stayed at the hotel like right across the street, so that was super convenient. And there was like a Longhorn attached to the hotel, so we just walked right down there and had a steak.
I believe that, like I said, that was the one Jericho got his title stolen from.
Yeah, if anybody remembers when Chris Jericho won the AEW World Title, he had it stolen out of his, I think it was out of his car when he was in eating at the Longhorn Steakhouse. You and I talked about that.
That wasn't an omen.
Yeah, right. And I think they found it. Didn't the guy like just chuck it out of the car and they found it somewhere?
I never knew how they found it.
I want to say that was it. The guy just like chucked it. I'm like, wow, the thief didn't, like, the thief stole it and it was like, you know what? Never mind.
I'm going to leave the obvious metaphor alone. Okay.
Yeah, like, I don't even want this. Good God, man. If you're going to take time to steal it, at least do something with it. But nope. And hey, it's okay. You know, that was the one title they have out of their 100. They don't have like 500 versions of. Like that TNT title, I swear to God, has gotten like 6 or 7 makeovers since they introduced it like a year and a half, 2 years ago. That's pretty damn ridiculous.
Now you hardly ever see it on TV, so there's that. Yeah.
Well, heaven forbid, you know, you push more than one title or one story at a time, man, you know. I liked when Miro had it. I felt like Miro did something with it, but
I think he defended it more times than anybody.
Yeah. Well, but didn't they say that, and I feel bad because he passed away, but like they said that Brody Lee was the greatest TNT champion ever.
They still do.
I'm like, come on. I mean, no, the only reason you're saying it is because he passed away. Like, that's kind of sick, if you ask me.
I mean, at least when Bruno died, you could legitimately say he was one of the greatest TNT champions ever.
Yeah, sold out Madison Square Garden countless times. Had a ton of matches with big time legends, but no, yeah, Brody Lee, who held that title for a total of what, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks
cups
at
of
most.
Coffee at least.
Yeah, good grief, whatever. But either way, enough.
Revisionist history, you know.
Yeah, enough complaining about AEW, I guess. We can complain about this. But first,
I could do 30 minutes on that and get thrown off every social media platform and lynched by a couple of freakazoids.
Oh, well, you're definitely going to get dogpiled.
Yeah.
I also,
Actually,
real quick, I do want to let everybody know about the sponsor of this here podcast. Today's episode is sponsored by Mahler Bros Golf. We all want to look good on the golf course, but it often comes at the expense of feeling good. Mahler Bros Golf has polos that look good and feel good. With their lightweight and stretchy material that hugs your body, you will feel cool while looking just as cool. Their polos are guaranteed to make you look better, but it's up to you to golf better. On a hot summer day on the golf course, there's no polo that you would rather wear than Mahler Bros Golf signature polos. Mahler Bros Golf has a large catalog of polos with designs for those who want a loud design and others for those who want a subtle and sleek-looking design. They also have fun t-shirts, hats, tumblers, and so much more to make your golfing experience better. Use code BELLYUP at MahlerBros.com for 15% off. Mahler Bros doesn't just have polos, by the way. They have really fun golf t-shirts that you can wear anywhere. Maybe like that barbecue that your family invited you to, or even that get-together with your friends. Maybe a night out on the town if you want to have fun while looking good and also impressing the local ladies. Make sure to let them know where you got that shirt and wear it proudly. Don't wait to try out your new favorite golf apparel. Upgrade your golf attire with Mahler Bros. Get 15% off at MahlerBros.com with code BELLYUP. That's 15% off at MAHLER Bros.com with code BELLYUP. Turn heads on the golf course or wherever you wear Mahler Bros polos. Mahler Bros Golf. Look good, feel good, play good. But we're going to get into our first break. We'll talk at you right after this break. Follow the Main Event Marks at Facebook.com/Main Event Marks Pod, on Twitter at Main Event _Marks, and on Instagram at Main Event _Marks and at Main Event Collector. Get ready to rumble in your new Main Event Marks merchandise. We've got t-shirts, hoodies, masks, hats, stickers, pins, and much more on our Redbubble store. That's maineventmarks.redbubble.com. You can also pick up some awesome clothing items with the latest updated show graphics on our Bonfire store. That's bonfire.com/store/main event marks. Support your favorite retro wrestling podcast and pick up some cool swag on our Bonfire and Redbubble stores. That's maineventmarks.redbubble.com and bonfire.com/store/main event marks.
By God! Somebody's interrupting the Main Event Marks! Sit down, JR. It's just me, Kyle Sullivan, aka Shaggy Von Doom, your host of Here in Puckburg on the Hockey Podcast Network. I know, a hockey show on the Main Event Marks. Who would have thought? This is an invasion angle. Somewhere between the Nexus and when WCW tried to invade WWE, somewhere in there. But I'm over here just telling you that one half of your tag team champions over here, Greg, he told his story of his love for the game of hockey over on my show. And if you'd like to hear that story, all you have to do is search Here in Puckburg wherever you get your podcast or on YouTube. In the meantime, Shagamania's got to go run wild on some other hockey show. So, just remember, quote the Raven, nevermore. Take your vitamins, say your prayers, and oh yeah!
The Main Event Marks are available wherever you get podcasts and on YouTube. Find all of our links on our link tree at linktr.ee/Main Event Marks. And we're back.
we're back.
Do you like your coffee like you like your podcasts? Gimmick and politics free? Well, so do we here at the Main Event Marks, and so do the guys and gals at Coffee Brand Coffee, where they ditch the gimmicks. You see, when you buy your coffee from other roasters, chances are that they've been sitting on the shelf for heaven knows how long. Don't rob yourself of freshness. At Coffee Brand Coffee, they roast to order, ensuring that you get the freshest coffee possible. And as Greg will tell you, that's what counts. Coffee Brand Coffee offers bagged coffee as well as K-Cups, and for the non-coffee people, they offer a variety of teas and cocos. Just click on the link down in the podcast description or go to coffeebrandcoffee.com and use our promo code MAINEVENT, all one word, at checkout to get 5% off your order. That's coffeebrandcoffee.com, and use the promo code main event to save 5% at checkout. Anything to crack today?
I'm just drinking bottled water.
Yeah.
Literally just got back from the gym, so.
Oh, nice. And I'm drinking soda. You're making me feel fat. But yeah, I don't have anything to crack today. My fellow Ohioans.
I mean, celery sticks. You might hear me crack those.
My fellow Ohioans might get mad at me for calling it soda. Like, oh,
that's what it's called.
Yeah, I call it both. I call it soda and I call it pop. The people seriously.
I've never ever in my life called it pop, ever.
Well, you're not from the Midwest. That's a big Midwestern thing. And what the weirdest one is, down south, some states they'll call it Coke. Everything is Coke.
Yep, that's happened here before too.
That one doesn't make any damn sense. Soda and pop, I get it because it's called soda pop. So you're just shortening
it's like back in the day when like parents would call every video game Nintendo. You know.
Yeah, right. Oh, you get that new PlayStation Nintendo?
Hey, revisionist history makes people forget that was actually almost a thing.
Really?
Yeah, Sony had a disc drive ready to go for Nintendo, and something happened at the final hour, and it just didn't happen.
Wow.
Or it did, limited or something like that. Yeah.
Well, Game Boy was their, or not Game Boy, GameCube was their first disc one, right?
I believe.
Yeah. And they had the little discs.
And it's a little one too, so they kind of made it, they had to be different. Yeah, I like that.
Right. Well, now they went back to cartridges for the Switch, and they're little. So, little tiny cartridges. But
amazing. They fit like 30 gigs of stuff on that little thing. Giggity.
Yeah, right. Well, what blows my mind about the soda pop thing is I was in a Walmart in Cincinnati, and I was just trying to get in and out really quick. And I asked one of the workers, I'm like, where's your soda? And she's like, huh? I'm like, your soda? Well, what is that? Like, it's fizzy, like, you know, Coca-Cola, whatever. She's like, oh, like pop? And I'm like, you know what the hell I mean? Good God.
Wow.
Yeah, like the sign over the aisle says like soft drinks, I guess, or like it might say soda. I think it actually says soda now. It's like you never looked at that, whatever. You've never heard anybody in your entire life say soda. Like, how sheltered are you? Whatever.
My grandma sometimes called it soda water.
Isn't that just like club soda?
I don't know. She called it soda water.
Okay. I mean, there's water in it, I guess.
It's bringing back to high school now. I forgot she used to call it that. Yeah.
Huh. That's
what kind of soda water do you want? What?
I never heard that one before.
I make sugar-free soda out of sparkling water, so I guess technically I do make soda water, but
yeah. Well, like I said, there's water in soda. It's just not a lot. But either way, time to get into the news and notes here. Let's get into the important stuff from 5 years ago at this point.
That is correct.
Shut the fuck up, Dave.
Everything that guy just said is bullshit.
All right. I mean,
that last part is all I need to hear.
Yep. Oh, man. Well, it's been rumored for a while, and WWE dropped the bombshell with a story on WWE.com. On Saturday, October 6th, WWE brings the Super Showdown to Melbourne Cricket Ground in Melbourne, Australia. This will be the largest live event ever for them. Although Triple H said it's the biggest live event ever. I'm like, in history for anything? I don't know if that's accurate, but I'm just going to assume he means for them. But 100,000.
I can't remember a lot of events in Australia, so it wouldn't have much competition. So.
Yeah, right. And I believe this is the biggest arena or venue, whatever, that they got over there. So, and I don't know, it was one of those wacky, weird events. Like, well, now they've made them more meaningful, and they actually have like real pay-per-views over there. But like the first couple Saudi shows, those were kind of like a mutual friend of ours used to call them like non-canon shows. So I don't know. This one is kind of that way. It's like, wait a minute, you mean to tell me people give a damn about Buddy Murphy? Who knew?
Give a damn is an understatement, dude. He was like a god over there.
I know. It's like you act like you've never seen an Australian wrestler before. Good God.
They got like the Australian wrestler, apparently.
Yeah, right. Like I mentioned, he came out looking like the country threw up on him. Like his tights were Australian flag colors. He draped the Australian flag over him. I'm like, man, like he's
Can you
going.
imagine what if they went there now with Rhea Ripley?
Yeah, right.
She'd be more than Jesus at the Vatican, dude.
Wow. I think was she on that show?
I don't think
Or
so.
no?
I don't think she was in wrestling yet,
Okay, yeah, no, that was
or at least not WWE.
right. Well, the Iconics are who I was thinking of. They were on that show. They were over like hell too.
Yeah, Roll Tide.
Yeah, right. No, Greg. They were better looking in NXT. They gained some weight.
Still trying to figure out why that's a bad thing.
Yeah. Well, even if like,
I need my women
Still-
like sticks.
yeah, right. Well, my thing is, for people that don't know what we're referencing, Uncle Dave talked crap about him, saying that they put on weight since they left NXT. It's like, first of all, where? Second of all, like,
Well, I know where.
yeah, it's like, what? Like, how do you know this? And like,
Because
I
he was
literally-
standing there at the gym when they were working out with the scale.
yeah, right.
Like he sits at the all the WrestleManias with his clicker at the entrance gates.
Well, it's like if they put on any weight whatsoever, it was like maybe 5 pounds. It's like it wasn't even noticeable. But
Again, I want to know
somehow,
why that's a bad thing.
yeah, well, it's like somehow he noticed. It's not like they were getting paunchy. Like, for God's sake, what a freaking.
Do you remember
weirdo,
when
man.
Corey Graves like burned him on the air for that?
I think so. I know he said
the Iconics
something.
have never looked better, in my opinion.
Oh my God, yeah. Man, that's
Why do you have to be
Something.
such an asshole?
Haggerty's Uncle Dave, man. I don't
Like,
know.
does it just suck to be you?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, no, Greg, he's the genius, and he's always right. I saw this tweet the other night. It was like, let me try my hand at this wrestling journalism thing. CM Punk will be the top guy for AEW Collision, unless maybe he decides not to be. And
Plans
There's a-
changed. He decided not to be.
yeah, right. And there was a bunch of other ones where it's like, this might happen, but then again, it might not. It's like, it's literally almost all of Uncle Dave's reports. Well, this could happen unless plans change. Like, for God's sake, man.
You can use that for anything on planet Earth. I might finally get that date with Kate Upton once plans change.
Yeah. Hashtag plans change. But with 100,000 seats to fill at Melbourne Cricket Ground, it's not surprising that WWE threw every name they have at Super Showdown, the newest international mega event on their calendar. Even past the Undertaker Triple H match at the top of the card, there are a couple of very interesting names which jump out at you. These things are always subject to change, of course.
There it is.
Yeah, right. But given all the talk lately about whether or not Shawn Michaels could return to the ring for the proverbial one more match, his being listed without any special appearance by caveats is going to raise a few eyebrows. Also listed is Michaels' one-time student, Daniel Bryan. But I think Shawn does come out, doesn't he?
Is this the one where him and Triple H faced Kane and Undertaker?
That was Saudi Arabia. Nah, dude, he wasn't coming out of retirement for anything less than that sweet, sweet Saudi money. Bald, might I add.
I always like it when people knocked him. Like, you know what? I'm not going to lie. I would take the damn payout. It's a lot of money.
Yeah, like, you mean my grandkids will never have to work a day in their lives? You know what? I'll think about it. That works
I
for
ain't
me,
got
brother.
morals I ain't got morals when it comes to money. Sorry. Unless it involves like killing somebody or something. No.
Yeah, I mean, there's a list of things, but I don't know. That one, it's like, yeah, how much are we talking here? Like, how many zeros are at the end of that check? Like, I don't know. You get to fly over, do your business, and come on home, and you're set for life. Your kids are set for life. Like, apparently, they just pay phenomenally. Like, I have multiple WWE superstars who were at liberty to say they haven't really come out and said the exact figure, but they're like, yeah, it was worth it. I'll just say that.
Well, the fact that Brock Lesnar's been on like all of them should tell you right there.
Yeah, right. Speaking of people whose grandkids will never have to work a day in their lives, like, good grief.
I don't think he gets enough credit for being like the smartest businessman there is.
This one, looking back, is like, wow, we've how far we've come. At NXT Takeover Chicago 2, the camera cut to Keith Lee who smiled and pointed at his wrist and mouthed the words, "It's time to bask in my glory." This is a declaration that he's about to debut in NXT.
With
Yeah.
his Fraser Crane talk and his smell the shit look.
Good God. Yeah. He's something. I was sending you stuff the other day where people were like roasting AEW. They were like, imagine not knowing what to do with Keith Lee. This is two companies, by the way. Vince McMahon didn't know what to do with him. Tony Khan.
How he's a Bearcat.
Yeah, the only person in the last 5 years that had any clue what to do with this guy was Triple H. That's it. Good God.
Keith Two Belts.
Right. How do you look at him? How do you watch his matches and you're like, you know what, pal? I don't know what to do with you, man. Like, I don't know if I've got a spot for you on my card.
How long I can do to market that?
Right. And Vince McMahon, I mean, like we've said, you're not going to bat 1,000. But that one, I really don't get it. How did he not see major potential in Keith? I know he was out for a while with his heart problems, but damn, man. Whatever. I don't know. And now he's in AEW looking like the Black Wizard of Oz or something. Like,
oh, man.
It's like, who told you to let your hair go gray? Like that. I'm sorry. That doesn't look good on anybody. And he comes
Did
out.
You see that meme of him? This is what happens when you get creative freedom.
Yeah. They need to add Chris Jericho to that list. Him standing next to the appreciators. There's not one single person in that faction worth a damn except for maybe Sammy Guevara. And
it was in the main event here as recording this weekend, I believe.
I'll tell you what, man, he's one of them where it's like, man, you're talented, man, but he seems like an ass. Like not in the ring, but just like in real life, he seems like an ass.
Like there's a running gag, there's a line in the back for everyone lined up to just punch him in the face. Apparently Andrade's the only one with the balls to do it.
Yeah, well, yeah. What the hell is he going to do to Andrade?
Anyway, they let him go. I'm pretty sure he's going to be secure and go back.
Yeah, right. I don't know what the hell Andrade's still doing hanging out there. It's like maybe he just signed a long-term contract.
He's been hurt. We haven't seen him on TV forever, so I don't know where the hell he is.
Yeah, well, I was going to say,
he's been referenced on Raw more than he has on AEW since he's been hurt. That's a fact.
Good God. I was going to say somebody on AEW's active roster not being seen on TV for months is not exactly a novel thing. So,
that's true.
Speaking of people,
and he is one of the better ones. That's what ticks me off.
I know. And you finally got Roosh. You got Roosh in there with him. The thing people have been begging for years to happen ever since he was in WWE, and nothing. Okay, whatever. Anyway, speaking of people who are currently in AEW, Paige tweeted that she was a victim of theft at the Sheraton Memphis while SmackDown was in town there. Rusev is pressing charges for things taken from his and Lana's room as well. I think I remember this story where like 4 or 5 people got robbed in this hotel, and it was all like WWE wrestlers.
Damn.
There's got to be housekeeping, right? Because who the hell else can get into your room?
I mean, you would assume, or I mean, like, what do you call it, maintenance or whatever?
Yeah. So it had to be somebody on staff. But my thing is that pressing charges. So did they catch the person? I don't know.
Or it could be talking about the hotel in general.
Yeah, it's like maybe you could press charges for them allowing things to get stolen. I don't know how that would work, but I don't know. Thank God I've never faced
Call
that
my attorney,
situation.
Mark Sterling.
Yeah, right. Well, this one's kind of sad. Jason Jordan is expected back on television after Money in the Bank, and there's been a lot of talk of a feud with Baron Corbin. Well,
which part? Just out of curiosity, when you say it's sad, which part do you mean? That he's not back, or that he's going to feud with Baron Corbin?
Yes, all of it, all of the above.
I like Baron Corbin. Let me make that clear. But man, he's crapped the bed these past couple of months.
Couple of months? I'd say
a
couple of years.
Especially the past couple of months. Okay, how about that?
I will say, ever since he dropped the lone wolf gimmick, it's just been all downhill from there. Like right here, he's Constable Corbin.
Badass theme song.
Right. He's Constable Corbin here, which nobody gave a damn about. He was literally like he had changed the channel heat. And then he was, I might
Hey,
be missing.
so did Dominic Mysterio at one point. Now look at him. So don't go off that.
Yeah, but how many times have they tried to rehab him since then? Like they put him with JBL most recently. Like the whole
Possible Corbin, Happy Corbin, King Corbin.
Well, there was Sad Corbin at one point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who gives a damn? Like nobody just call him Baron Corbin, send his ass out there with the biker gimmick, and let him go. Good grief, man.
Going
But
back
anyway,
to NXT has helped quite a few people. So I mean, I can see that happening.
right. Well, they slap JBL
They
with
did
him,
a Finn
hoping
Balor.
well, they slapped JBL with him, hoping, well, maybe he'll have a good mouthpiece. Now, nope, still nobody gave a damn.
I don't think he needed a mouthpiece. I don't think he was that bad, honestly. I'm not saying he's great, but I'm just saying he wasn't bad.
I hesitate to blame it all on him, but some of his promos were pretty brutal, just because all of his promos boiled down to, I'm really big and you're not. Ha ha. Like, it seems like that was
And I'm more
every single
bold than you.
feud. Yeah. Seems like that was every feud he had for years.
You know who was like one of his legit best friends is?
Who?
MJF.
Wow.
And I just say that because, like you said, like all of his promos are, basically the same. It's MJF's too. I'm better than you. I'm Jewish. I'm from Long Island. Bidding War 2024. WWE. Boom. MJF promo.
Well, you hear, you look at all of like his feuds with like Finn Balor was the one that stuck out with me the most because that entire feud was, hey, little guy, I'm big and you're small. Ha ha ha. That's our feud. And then his next feud was with somebody he did the same thing with. And it's like, that's just been the rinse and repeat for years. Like, you guys can't come up with anything better than that.
And he's
Come on,
not
man.
really like the Big Show big
Huge.
either.
No,
Yeah.
he's a
And
large
Balor
man.
is actually a little person, so
Yeah, he's under 6 foot, so therefore tiny in their eyes.
better than most of the
Didn't
damn roster.
Right. Well, getting back to the Jason Jordan thing, about him coming back after Money in the Bank. Unfortunately, he never comes back to the ring. He's done.
I believe he's still there though.
Yeah, I think he's still an agent or whatever the hell he's doing. He's working some way, shape, or form the
He
backstage.
breaks up fights.
Yeah, one of them guys. Well, PW Insider notes that Alicia Fox was backstage at a recent Raw, though
I got to mention on WWE TV this last week too.
though she obviously wasn't used. There's also apparently some speculation that she could leave WWE when her deal is up, which may be later this year. I think she does. Yeah. What are we going to do without her? I always liked, she was
I like
Dolph
looking at her, I'll tell you that, but
right. Well, she was like the Dolph Ziggler of the women's division. She was always in some match with like the new person they were trying to build up. She would always lose, and commentary would always push like, oh, she's a former Divas champion, so that means something. Just like with Dolph Ziggler, he was like, oh, for life, and they're like, oh, he's a former world's heavyweight champion. Who gives a shit?
ironically, both those titles are no longer a thing.
Right. It's like, dude, Dolph hasn't meant anything in years. You pumping up that he's a former world's champion, they did the same thing with Jack Swagger, means nothing. Absolutely zilch.
They still call him a former world champion on AEW TV to this day.
God. Yeah.
An undefeated MMA fighter.
Out of what? 1-2 fights?
I don't even know who you beat. Did you beat John Jones or Stipe or Cain Velasquez? Who'd you beat, dude? Why do I care about your record?
Right. He won one fight by via like forfeit because he accidentally kicked the dude right in the junk, and the guy couldn't continue. Remember when that was a thing for a while? They played it up on WWE or AEW. Where
Yep.
he would kick dudes in the junk. This was like right after the fight, so you knew what the hell they
There
were.
is a current UFC champion who holds the title because he won it for getting hit in the nuts via DQ.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, this week saw TNA and Kenny Omega both on the WWE Network, and WWE prominently promoting a video game showdown between the New Day and the Elite on E3. The Street Fighter V battle ended with Xavier Woods and Kenny Omega saying their encounter was hopefully just the beginning of making Kenny's catchphrase change the world into a reality. In a recent interview, Triple H stated, quote, "Is there an opportunity for cross-promotional events? Absolutely, with the right things. It's a blank slate, and I'm open to just about anything if the right situation shows itself. We have an alliance with Progress in the UK, a situation with ICW in Scotland, two very well-run and respected promotions that do good business, and more importantly, they are cultivating talent. They're not just...
AKA's Triple H's personal farm leagues.
Pretty much. Says they are not just exploiting talent and grabbing guys to do a show with them. They are teaching talent and trying to make them better, which is what it is all about for me." End quote. Yeah. What was
get that Kenny Omega Seth Rollins match?
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, seems like the Elite always has to be in charge. The Elite always has to go over. They always have to call the shots. So that's the one reason why I can't see them leaving AEW unless they're forced to. Because in WWE, they have to follow the
Fingerbang
rules.
keeps teasing it. So apparently November was a big thing.
Yeah. Oh, that was the other thing. That the guy was like, Kenny Omega's contract is up in November and he might go to WWE, although it might be a lot longer than that.
I saw Omega tweet himself, so that's why I believe it, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, Uncle Dave knows more, Greg. We know this.
Well, in that case, I don't know if you're being sarcastic, but he probably would.
Yeah.
Rumor has it, he checks Kenny Omega's oil daily, so.
Wow. Hey, Kenny, want me to oil your pecs for you? You're looking awfully vascular today.
That's always been Jim Cornette's one compliment of Kenny Omega. He goes, at least he looks like a wrestler. I'll give him that.
Right. But the thing is, I don't know. I don't know if the Elite would make it in WWE just because, well, one, the Young Bucks are effing weird and they're injury prone. They're constantly hurting themselves. As far as Kenny Omega, though, it's like I feel like all of them have like a big head on their shoulders and they love being in charge. That ain't gonna fly in WWE. They're not gonna be in charge of a damn thing. So
I feel like Omega would loosen up if he got away from them.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. They're up each other's asses so much. Like, I don't know. They I feel like Kenny could do something in WWE. But then again, they'd have to...
I feel like he'd be a huge deal.
If any of them were going to be, he would be it. But then again, I don't know if he would come in being a big deal or if it would be kind of like a Cody thing where it's like, we're going to bring you in, we're going to act like, it's a really big deal. And then it's like, yeah, but you're going to have to, get moved down the card a little bit there for a while. But I mean, obviously he's been in big feuds, but still. Roman is still, still trucking along.
Well, he got in trouble for praising Roman a couple weeks ago. I saw it. Everyone snapped on him.
Who? Cody?
Omega.
Oh God.
Someone asked him, how would you feel about a match? He said, oh, yeah, you probably dominate Roman in a match. He goes, well, he's their top guy in wrestling. I think it'd be a great match. Was he supposed to say, oh, I'd kill him?
Yeah, right. But like, dominate him in a match? Really? Come on, man. These people are effing delusional, man. It's like, yeah, everybody hates Roman Reigns until his music hits and everybody gets on their damn feet. Because guess what?
He's thrown in the air.
Yeah. Because guess what? He's selling the tickets. Him or the Bloodline collectively trends every week. Multiple times a week. So, whatever. Say what you will. But
he's not even in Fast and the Furious either, so I don't know why he's trending.
Yeah.
Although he was in one, but technically.
Maybe they saw Jason Momoa and thought, oh, he kind of looks like Roman Reigns.
Yeah. There is a funny video people should watch. The interviewer's talking to Momoa. He goes, you ever been told you look like Roman Reigns? And Momoa said, yeah, but I've never met him. And then he said, you look like Rob Trujillo too. And he knows Rob Trujillo, but he doesn't know Roman. So you ever see these three together in the same room? Like, nope.
Wow.
I never thought about Rob Trujillo until they put the picture. I'm like, wow, yeah, okay, I can see it.
But I know you remember this one, man, because you ended up going to one of these shows that actually became a reality. Rumors point to Mexico's AAA being the first non-WWE wrestling company to plant their flag in Madison Square Garden, with multiple dates held for a possible September 2018 show. Well, first of all, I must say, that did not happen because I know, shocking, people in New York didn't give that much of a crap about AAA. Like, I guess
the other one you're probably about to say, they did give a crap about. So.
Right. Well, the thing with AAA is like, yeah, I mean, they have American viewers, but it's like, did you really think you had a big enough audience for your company in New York? Come on, man.
And they're not going to piggyback WrestleMania.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to piggyback WrestleMania,
there's a reason people do that, okay? And I don't knock it. It's smart. Hell, I would.
Yeah, if you're not as well known, there you go. That would be stupid for ones like it would look pretty pathetic if ones like AEW did that when they're sitting there pretending they're competition. That one would be like, wow, that's just kind of admitting defeat right there.
Yeah. And then you got Ring of Honor doing it. That's brilliant. Why wouldn't you?
That makes sense because it's like, yes, Ring of Honor is they might be the top indie company, but they're still an indie company. So yeah, get all the eyes on your product that you possibly can.
My only knock on Ring of Honor doing that is they always go to still like little closets. You're gonna tell like fall WrestleMania, put it in an arena, have the balls to do it, sell it out.
Yeah,
like when they came over here to the Bay Area for WrestleMania 31, they went to like a little closet in like a podunk city. They didn't go to like the Chase. They couldn't even go to the damn Cow Palace.
Yeah, right.
It really got me. Like, why? Like people are here for this event for WrestleMania. Why are you piggybacking on that bigger?
They did go to the Hammerstein when the one we covered.
Closet.
Yeah, it's a little smaller. I mean, it is a ballroom at the end of the day, but I don't know. Maybe
you could have put that in maybe Barclays or whatever the hell they have in Jersey, out on Long Island somewhere.
If I were them, I would have. If I were them, I wouldn't. No way in hell I would have been trying with the Barclays. Maybe. What the hell is the one in Long Island? They had Evolution there.
I think it's just called the Long Island Coliseum.
Nassau Coliseum. That's what I was thinking of. I mean, yeah, that one. I mean, you could have blocked off a lot of seats because for basketball,
it's New York and WrestleMania. They probably wouldn't have had to.
Well, this one's actually on Long Island, so you got to wonder how many people are going to make the trek. Or Uniondale, whatever. I think it's the same thing.
It's a free boat from Battery Park.
Yeah, I mean, you could set it up for over 14,000. But I mean, WWE with Evolution, they drew just shy of 11,000 there. I mean, even if you got 5,000 in there, it's not that big of a venue. It wouldn't have looked that bad. So I think they could have done it with the right promotion. I don't know.
I think with the right promotion, they could have probably sold it out in New York. It's a huge wrestling town.
But now with the CEO of Sinclair
Broadcasting, sell out, come on, dude.
Yeah. But now the CEO of Sinclair Broadcasting is saying that his company's promotion, Ring of Honor, plans to run the Garden in 2019. WWE is reportedly very upset about Ring of Honor and AAA trying to run the Garden. The Wrestling Observer is saying WWE is doing everything possible to block it. And they did. Or, I mean, they did everything they could. They weren't able to block it.
I still laugh that Sinclair thinks that Ring of Honor sold that place. No, you didn't. New Japan did. You were just on the card. Shut up, dude.
I don't think Ring of Honor had a ton of exclusive star power at that time. Most of it was
won the title in the Garden.
Yeah,
so there's that. But we weren't there to see the Great Muda's Garden debut or see Okada. No, we were there to see Matt F. Taven.
Oh yeah, he was their top guy. Clearly, good God, the fact that he won that match in the Garden blew my mind. I'm like, wow.
For the proof that Jay Lethal pissed somebody off.
Yeah, right. Maybe he was trying to be a star maker, but it's like, dude, nobody gives a crap about Matt Taven. Well, we know one guy that does, or I've heard of him. You met him.
Down the street, down the alley, and then down the street. And then there's a couple houses, one with a bush in front of it. The one with the bush is Matt Taven's house.
Hell yeah. Don't mind me sitting in the remind me sitting in the bushes, watching.
Right. I like to watch.
Good God. But anyway, yeah. So I mean, WWE really did pull out all the stops. They even ran a show in the Garden after this, but I guess Madison Square Garden themselves, the management team, came out and they were like, we would lose a crap ton of money if we canceled the show or told them no or whatever. WWE isn't going to keep running here. They've basically moved on to the Barclays. So
they did, They were in the Barclays the moment this was happening because the Hall of Fame was going on. I remember watching the results of that whole Bret Hart incident with the fan who attacked him. I heard about it while sitting at the Garden watching the show.
That was the first one that they did where with in the arena with the ring in the center surrounded by people. So But yeah, this it ended up happening because, like I said, the Garden came out and was like, "What financial incentive is there for us to say no to them just to make you happy?" Because WWE basically had to admit they're like, "Yeah, we're not really going to run a lot of shows there." They're like, "Okay." So I mean, I don't blame them. And it's
Apparently, the television rights are huge.
yeah. Well, what the hell was WWE going to do? Never go to the Garden ever again? Like, give me a break. Like, that was never in the realm of possibilities, no matter what Vince McMahon would say. So, and like I said, I think they ended up running a show there shortly after this, didn't they? Like, I think it was just a house show, but
I think that was the one where AJ won the United States title.
Yeah, it might have been, yeah. But here's a reference to something that is now in the archives. It's been confirmed that Kota Ibushi is all in, meaning that he will be at the Super Indie show All In on September 1st. And this was pre-AEW, by the way. Actually, 1 year prior to AEW. And
ironically, they don't even own the rights to this freaking event still.
They don't own the rights to the footage. Okay, yeah. Who the hell is it? Ring of Honor that owns?
I think it's New Japan.
That's weird. I would assume they would own a fraction of it. Maybe they're just not wanting. They're pretty stingy with their footage. I found because it's like if something is co-owned, they'll be like, well, if we can't get exclusive rights to it, then nobody gets to show it on their service. Like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, for anybody that doesn't know, we covered All In a couple of years ago, now in the archives. The show was okay, and they're bringing the name back this year. AEW is for Wembley. But that was it was billed kind of as a big indie show, but it was like Ring of Honor was mostly in on it. And it came out after. Yeah. And it came out afterwards when AEW started up. Ring of Honor was like, yeah, we were kind of lied to and BS'd around to be a part of this. They're like, if we would have known that they were pretty much just using us to go start their own promotion, then we would have said, hell no, we're not participating in that. A lot of people don't remember the Elite were all signed to Ring of Honor at this time. Speaking of all that, Chris Jericho was recently interviewed for Inside the Ropes, saying, quote, I got asked to do New Japan's Strong Style Evolved show in Long Beach, and I said no. I got asked to do G1 special at San Francisco's Cow Palace. I said no. I got asked to do All In. I said no. I don't want to do that. You should see how many indie promoters have contacted me over the last 6 months.
Oh, God, get out of your head.
He followed that up by saying, quote, I'm doing all these different things and enjoying the freedom, but still rooted in the respect for Vince McMahon and the WWE. And I don't want to do anything that goes too far over that line right now. I mean, he doesn't wrestle at All In, but he is there. I don't know if you remember after Pentagon's match.
He comes out as a painmaker, right?
No, he was he came out it was Pentagon or Penta L0M, whatever, him versus Kenny Omega. And after the match, the lights go out, and when they come back on, Chris Jericho is dressed as Pentagon, and he's like laying on the mat where Pentagon was.
I remember he was dressed as something.
Yeah, and then Kenny turns his back, and Jericho stands up, takes the mask off, and shows that it's him, and he beats the crap out of Kenny Omega.
I feel like when I was watching this back, the fans knew that was Jericho.
Right. Yeah, I mean, he did a decent job. It's like it fooled me for like a second, and then I was like, wait a minute, something ain't right. But yeah, so he was there. I don't know about the New Japan stuff, but this doesn't last long. And then shocker, he comes out, he signs with AEW right off the bat. He also talked about, in the same interview, he talked about how much money he made. Oh my God, I made so much money over the past year that I've been gone, and yada yada. Like, cool, I guess. Like, good for you. Whatever.
Matt Cardona does this day.
Matt Cardona talks about how much money he makes.
It's all he talks about. Jerks himself off to. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah, it's like, dude, this guy
but
you look like a complete douche.
Like, and you're wrestling in front of nobody.
Right.
Celebrating GCW titles and stuff. Like,
yeah, you're getting all tore up and cut up and wrestling people that have no business being in a ring. Like, come on, man.
Dude, he's the deathmatch king. He fought Nick Gage.
Oh,
That means something.
hell yeah. Yeah, it means I never want to watch his crap ever again. That's what it means to me.
I like how disdain and hate of Nick Gage brings WWE fans and AEW fans together.
Do AEW fans not like him?
I've heard quite a few just like, why the hell was he on the show when he fought Jericho?
Well, because they thought, he meant something. It's like, no, dude, just because he had a Dark Side of the Ring episode. I'm sorry.
That's what did it.
Right. I'm sorry, but he didn't come across sympathetic to me in that episode. I looked at him and was like, wow, why? I'm like, why do you think I want to watch him now? Like, no, thank you.
The murder, death, kill game.
Yeah, because that
should tell you everything you need to know about that dude right there.
Yeah, that seems like something that like an angsty middle school kid is scratching on his custom paper cover. Like, when you had to make them book covers out of paper bags and you could draw on them. Like, he's just scratching that on there. Oh, MDK, man, isn't that cool? It stands for murder, death, kill. Like, yeah, but what does it mean? Oh, it means murder and death and kill.
Right.
It's effing stupid. I have never seen anything he almost killed a national treasure, David Arquette. How dare you?
Former WCW champion.
Allegedly!
No, that was allegedly. I saw the footage.
Yeah. Yeah. David Arquette admitted. He's like, he damn near slit my throat. I think he himself admitted. He was like, oh, I thought I just killed him. Like, that's what you get for being a moron. Like, good grief, man. Like, oh, when I get out there, I just want to slice people up. And then and the thing is, like, Moxley wrestled him, quote unquote, wrestled. And he's like, oh, I thought he cut my tongue off, whatever. And I was like, oh, crap, whatever. And he's just like, it's just a day at the office. Like, no, dude, this isn't normal. God. Look, I'm saying this now, like, this was just, like, anecdotal stuff I've heard from people who used to know him back in the day that wrestled with him back in Cincinnati. So I am not confirming any
Moxley,
of this.
Right?
Yes.
Pronouns, pal.
Yeah, right. Yeah, John Moxley. People have insinuated that, well, you do that deathmatch stuff, or he does, people like him do that deathmatch stuff so that they can hurt themselves, go to the doctor, and then get loaded up on pain pills.
Allegedly!
Well, he's also in rehab for being alcoholic, so there's that.
Yeah, he has a track record. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he did or didn't. Same
and
thing
a wife that looks like that.
Right. Somebody pointed out one time she had like marks on her neck that almost looked like choke marks or something like that, or like finger marks, like where she'd been choked. And they're like, you can tell what she likes.
I was gonna say, don't accuse him of being abusive. That could be,
Oh no, I'm not. Not
no,
that.
I know.
They seem to be. No, but
like,
what I'm thinking is, well, he doesn't just like doing rough stuff in the ring. If you catch my drift.
giggity.
Hopefully, he doesn't bring forks into the bedroom. But that's all I'm saying.
Right, fork and spoon and knife.
Good God, yeah, I like the spoon after I fork.
Oh man.
Anyway, well, he does bring a screwdriver in the bedroom if you know what I mean.
Orange juice in it too, right?
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I wish you move on. It's getting weird.
Anyway, these next couple of stories are straight out of MMA, but they are related to wrestling. So, good God. An industry source, so take that for what you will, told the Los Angeles Times that UFC 225 did a less than 150,000 buys on pay-per-view, which was pretty much.
What was the main event of that? Let me see.
Well,
225, you said?
Yes, but it says that would pretty much end the last argument for CM Punk being in UFC. For anybody
Robert Whitaker and Yoel Romero. I mean, that's not exactly a marquee fight, but it's one I would watch. Colby Covington and Rafael dos Anjos. Tai Tuivasa and Andrei Arlovsky. This doesn't seem like a bad card, but every fight did go to decision for its worth. So.
Yeah, it's not like a crap card, but the thing is, like you and I talked about, they didn't know this going in. They just saw the card and went, nope. So I think that was the final straw. CM Punk was gone after that, but I don't know. Another one though, Per the Wrestling Observer newsletter, there's apparently been at least some talk of Brock Lesnar showing up at UFC 226 on July 7th and challenging the winner of the Stipe Miocic versus Daniel Cormier fight.
That happens.
Yeah, didn't he get into a shoving match with Cormier?
He did, yeah. And never went anywhere.
Yeah, I was going to say nothing happened. I was like, oh, we're going to shove each other. It's going to be super unprofessional. And nothing. And it's gone. Oh, whatever. I don't get that one. Obviously, they were hoping for something, but just never materialized.
You know what ticks me off about that is the next fight that Cormier had was with Stipe. I was at that fight. That means that could have been Cormier and Brock. Oh, man. Now I'm pissed.
Yeah, right. I remember this fight was personal between you and I because Stipe is obviously a Cleveland guy and Cormier is from your neck of the woods. So
Now,
where's he from originally?
I believe he's from Louisiana.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but he lives out there, right?
He's also
Cali.
a 49er fan, so screw him.
Oh, well, a mutual
Well,
friend of ours will
All our
appreciate
listeners are going to hear that and get pissed.
that. Right.
It's okay. I can say that. I go to more Niners games than I do Raiders games nowadays anyways.
Yeah, well, that driving distance is palpable, so.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that brings us to our last story, and it's WWE related, but it fits into a certain segment that has been absent from the podcast for a while, so I wanted to hit it now.
What the f is this piece of shit?
That is one big pile of shit.
Oh,
That's right. It is the return of That Is One Big Pile of Shit. So, I'm sure you'll remember this once I start talking about it, but I did not know a lot of this stuff. This is it's a little weird. But Dr. Chris Amon, WWE's senior ringside physician, may have lost more than a court case when a jury found for CM Punk and Colt Cabana in the defamation suit that he brought against the pair for their 2014 podcast discussing Punk's time in WWE. First of
that
all,
podcast ruined a lot of things, huh?
yeah, right. Well, first of all, I gotta say, I didn't really keep up with it. I had no idea that he lost that. I thought he won, or at least got a settlement out of it, but apparently not. But either way, to continue on, evidence definitely pointed to the doctors discussing patient information via text, violating HIPAA privacy regulations, and poor record keeping, including dispensing medication without documentation. As if those missteps weren't damaging enough, reporting from David Bixenspan for Deadspin points to a serious ethical violation, which Amon himself confirmed in pretrial depositions. And WWE doesn't seem too happy about it. Defense questioning during depositions revealed Amon had a romantic and sexual relationship with former WWE superstar Jillian Hall. First of all, good for him. Second of all, the timeline for that relationship, which the doctor confirmed, points to it going on while Hall was assigned to Raw, and Amon was the lone doctor for that brand, meaning she was technically his patient. None of this was introduced in trial, as Amon's legal team filed motions to exclude it. Somewhat ironically, those motions were what led to Bixenspan to the documentation, which were not sealed. Perhaps worst of all for Amon, whose WWE's contract, Wrestling Observer says expires in October this year, is that his bosses say that they didn't know about his relationship with Hall. And when Deadspin asked them for comment, they weren't happy. Damn. Yeah, I believe he was fired at right after this, wasn't he, if I remember correctly?
No clue, honestly.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Like I said, I didn't know that he lost it he lost that suit. But I did hear something about that he was let go or something like that. Well, now we know why.
He's dipping his pen in the company ink.
Yeah, right. It's like, maybe don't sleep around with your patients. It's a little unethical. And then on top of that, the fact that, what was this? Discussing patient information via text, violating HIPAA privacy regulations, poor record keeping, dispensing medication without documentation. Good God, man. Where did they find this guy?
I think he's Dr. Zahorian's son.
Yeah, right. Does he walk in the room and go, "Hi, everybody"? Hi, Dr. Nick. But yeah, this dude, just wow. I got my medical license from a Cracker Jack box. 4 more and I get a decoder ring. That's just pathetic. But yeah, I think after all of that, we can comfortably say that is one big pile of shit. Even as you mentioned,
is it all true? If it's all true, is it?
Apparently it is. It was all in court documents. He admitted to it. But there you go. Another big pile of shit is, like you mentioned, that podcast they did. Good God.
Yeah, that thing just ruined like friends, like relationships, almost like family. Weren't Punk and Cobain like brothers?
Pretty much.
Man, that's just terrible.
Yep. You know, it's like, I don't think Colt Cobain has said like jack squat about Punk in public. And if he has, I haven't really seen much about it. But it's like, it's always Punk saying something. And I realize he was asked questions and he was answering, but it's like, man, you didn't have to go that freaking hard.
If you go back
man.
and watch, you're talking about the presser, right? The all-out presser?
Yeah,
or as they call
brawl
it,
out.
brawl out. Yeah. But if you go back and listen to it, dude, like, he was only asked like one thing, and he just went like wrote a damn novel about it.
Yeah, he lives with his mom, and he shares a bank account with his mom. Like, for God's sake, dude, and where to bury the guy? Like, how? Like, what did he do to you, man? Like, did he F you over that bad? Because it sounds like Colt has kind of a reason to be pissed at him because he got dragged into that lawsuit because of Punk. So it's kind of the situation like when was it Brett
and he didn't
Favre
have for Scotty Goldman money? That's not fair.
Yeah, wasn't it Brett Favre that sued Pat McAfee because of something somebody else said on his show?
I think it was him and his whole group. They were making jokes and stuff like that.
Oh, not jokes.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I just.
I know. I just like it's like it probably was just jokes, and he got butthurt about it. But I don't know.
Well, you gotta also remember, like a billion people listen to McAfee's show, so that's contaminating a jury pool. So, I mean, I'm not saying the jury is all listens to his show. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, was it something about a court case of his?
Yeah, that whole
so
Mississippi welfare scandal thing. That's what it was. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see why he might be a little pissed, but like, come on, man. If they're making jokes about you and you're in the public limelight, you know, you're a hot topic. Like, I don't know. But I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I just pretend to be one on the podcast.
That's why I'm careful what I say on here.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you might get an angry Von Erichs fan suing your ass.
Hey, I'm not stupid. I don't shoot off my mouth like some hysterical woman, okay? Jeez.
Ah, God.
That's a little line from the show before anybody says anything.
Well, we're going to take our next break here. We're going to get into the event at hand. It's Money in the Bank. Right after this. Follow the Main Event Marks at Facebook.com/Main Event Marks Pod, on Twitter at Main Event _Marks, and on Instagram at Main Event _Marks and at Main Event Collector.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. My name is Thomas, and what's your name?
I'm Alan. Yeah. We're brothers.
That's right.
Yeah. Same mother and father.
Your room was...
we shared the room.
Shared a room?
We shared the room.
Thought I knew your face.
Yeah, we go way back, mate. Yeah.
We should do a podcast then.
We have.
We do a podcast?
We do a podcast.
What's it called?
The Broadcast. Yeah, that was planned.
Yeah, well.
What do we do?
Well, we cover all different things in the world of pop culture. We're talking about comic books, we're talking about professional wrestling, and we're talking about movies. Go back and watch classic retro wrestling events, the likes of WWE, WCW, and if you do like that, you can check us out on Apple iTunes, also on Podbean, Anchor, and on Podknife. Also check us out on Twitter at The Broadcast. That's BROKAST. I nearly stuffed up the ending.
Yeah, it's all right. Good on you.
Yeah. Instagram also at The Broadcast Podcast.
Yeah, but we don't spell it with a C. We spell it with a K.
Salute, mate.
Take it easy.
Main Event Marks are available wherever you get podcasts and on YouTube. Find all of our links on our link tree at linktr.ee/Main Event Marks. And we're back.
We're back.
Is WWE Money in the Bank 2018 took place June 17th, 2018. The tagline, "The Irresistible Force meets the baddest woman on the planet." I like how that was like the most like publicized match on the card.
Why is that the match?
I know. It's like, I guess because Ronda was a hot commodity at the time. I don't know. Now she's just hot. But anyway. The venue was the Allstate Arena in the Chicago suburb of Rosemont, Illinois. I think
people don't realize that this place is not in Chicago.
Right.
I mean, hell, I didn't even know that until you and I got there.
Yeah, this is not where the Bulls play. That's
Nor
what
is
is
it
that?
where they ever played.
Right. Yeah, this is just another arena. Kind of weird. I feel like this is easier to get to because, like you said, it's not in the city. So I'd rather go here. Plus, they got a bunch of restaurants and stores and stuff all around there. So I like that. You can stop.
And there's a Target with no figures there. So there's that.
Yeah. Well, between the fog machine going all damn night and me screaming my head off, I had to stop in and get some lozenges from Target on the way out. I also pissed off a group of people because I turned around and they kept doing the Adam Cole baby stuff. And finally I turned around and went, Michael Cole, baby!
Jackass.
They gave me a look like they wanted to murder me. And I was like, all right, let's go.
And I stepped away and told them I'm not with him. So
I'm like, come on. Like, no
it's like I do on
sense
this
of humor.
podcast when you put crap, I threw your ass under the bus.
Good God. Well, the attendance for this one was 15,214. We open right with a match, which is a novel concept for a wrestling pay-per-view, I'll say. But this is Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass, a.k.a. Big Bill. It's Bryan Danielson versus Big Bill in about 16 and a half minutes.
Oh, man.
So after a running knee from Bryan, he locks in a knee bar.
They really thought Big Cass was going to be something on his own, didn't they?
Oh, they tried. And I'll say, like, I don't know if they were going to totally kill it after a while, but the reason they did was he made an ass out of himself, and they had to fire him.
Big ass out of himself.
Big ass.
What was his reason again? What did he do?
I know he was, like, really high-strung and, like, kind of crappy backstage, like, mouthing off a lot. There was some talk of, like, he was kind of open with his political beliefs and, you know, in a pretty contentious time. And then there was a thing about, he thought they were on a tour bus in, I want to say Europe. And he would use, it was one of those with like a bathroom in the back of it. And he thought they were ribbing him and locked him in, but really he, like, the handle was just kind of stuck and he freaking just busted the damn door down. So they couldn't use the bathroom for the rest of the tour because he broke the door off. So that got him a lot of heat. Look, there's a reason him and Enzo were, you know, they got along for a while. All right. That's all I'm saying.
They reunited at that New Japan show in the Garden that we were talking about earlier, to bring it back to that.
Right. Yeah. Because it was, wasn't it Big Kaz? And then Enzo.
I think it was Kaz XL, if I remember right.
I know he went, but yeah, it might have been that. And then, yeah, and Enzo. Like, ooh. Whatever. But either way, after a running knee from Bryan, he locks in a knee bar on Big Cass and wins via submission. This may simultaneously be Daniel Bryan's worst match ever and Big Cass's best match ever. Uncle Dave gave it 2 3/4 of a star. I gave it 2. What say you?
I gave it 2. I said Daniel Bryan was trying, man.
Man, he had his working boots on and it just wasn't. He had a load to carry in this.
Did you realize, like, at the end of this match, dude, he was like drenched in sweat, like more than usual? That's telling to me, dude.
Yeah, I was like, what? Why, man? Like, why is this a thing? This went on for a while. Like, I get it. Daniel Bryan's like one of the best in the world, but no. If anything, this just makes Cass look worse by comparison.
Like, put him in there with Zippy the Pinhead, or almost. See how good he is.
God. You know, I will
just
say,
kidding. I do not want to see that.
Right. I will say, I don't think Omos is that bad. He's not great by any measure, but I don't think he's as bad as, you know, some, especially when you compare him to other, like, big dudes that they've tried to push in the past couple decades. He's really not that bad.
Yeah, but having great matches with Seth Rollins does help your appearance.
I mean, him and Brock was kind of fun. I enjoyed that one. It wasn't anything that's going to go on a match of the year ballot or anything like that, but it was all right.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah. But anyway, we go.
I agree. It was worse. It was way worse.
Way worse.
But, and going back to Zippy.
Yeah. Any of the any of the big Indian dudes that they've
Yeah.
pushed in the last few years.
The
Any of them.
What's
Giant
that guy's
Silva,
name? Yeah, Silva.
And then, Giant Gonzalez. I mean, any of them. He's fine. But anyway, we go back to the New Day backstage. Big E is literally pouring water all over himself and drinking it. Like, what the hell? Did he just eat a ghost pepper? But Xavier Woods is searching on a laptop for something.
Somebody tell him the camera's already on him. He does not need to seek attention.
Well, they say they need to determine which one of them will be in Money in the Bank tonight. A wild Kevin Owens appears, carrying a garbage bag full of pancakes.
That's the big O.
Yeah. New Day flips out, and Owens says that he also comes with bottles of syrup. Being from Canada, that's probably some good shit, pal.
Saw that coming.
Yeah, right.
Seemed like a layup to me, but
Yep. Well, he even says, he's like, I come with with the finest Canadian maple syrup. Like, yep, there you go. But Owens asks which of them will be in Money in the Bank, and they won't tell him. Owens says that if
because they don't know.
Right. Owens then asks if they'll help him take out Braun Strowman for him. Kofi says that they're not cheaters, but Owens says that it's only common sense. They seem to be warming up to this idea until Kevin Owens says that he hates pancakes, bootios, and all breakfast foods. This reminds me of a line from Parks and Recreation where Amy Poehler's character asks Ron Swanson, why do people eat anything but breakfast food? And Ron says, because people are idiots, Leslie. But then the New Day damn near explodes over this revelation. They kick Owens out of their locker room, and he flips out over Braun Strowman.
Brown strongman.
Brown snowman.
Ironically, because he couldn't be whiter.
Right. Yeah, and he's a big meathead dude bro, so that screams white all over it. And then white frat boys.
And that stupid haircut he has, too.
Oh, God, yeah. You can count the amount of dumbass haircuts he's had through the years.
Oh, right now he's probably got his best one ever.
I forget what his hair looks like off the top of my head.
He's just bald now.
Oh, well. Oh, yeah, that's right. Didn't he have some, like, weird, like, almost like a double mohawk type deal going for a while? Shaved some shape in it?
I don't remember that, but now he's bald, has a thick beard, and pierced nipples, so.
Yeah, nothing says I'm over and intimidating like pierced nipples. Good God, man. That's gross. But anyway, up next, it is Sami Zayn versus Bobby Lashley. This goes about 6.5 minutes.
Bob Lashley.
It's crazy to see the evolution of Lashley and Zayn from this to where they are now.
Yep.
Like, I always liked Lashley, but Lashley was so, like, generic right here. It was like, I don't know.
Okay, I didn't write in my notes. Did he have the headband on in this?
He did, yeah.
I don't know why he did. It was just the most ridiculous looking thing. Why are you wearing a damn headband? You look like a fool.
I guess it made him kind of stand out a little bit, but at the same time, it was like, that was basically his gimmick for a while.
He looked like somebody in the background of a Richard Simmons workout video.
He looked like the Ty Bo guy.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
no way, dude. He dwarfs that fool.
Yeah, right. But yeah, it looks so dumb. I'll say I didn't hate it. I didn't hate the headband. It was okay, but it was like, that was his gimmick. I'm the big black guy with the headband. Cool.
Worked for Hulk Hogan, right?
I guess so. And as we all know, he is a brother. So. But
wow,
way,
you said that.
It's usually you, so I had to get one in this time. But Lashley wins with a stalling vertical suplex. Woohoo. So the best thing I can say...
it is more impressive when he does it with one arm, though.
It is, but still, like, you won off that? The best thing I can say about this match is mid. Uncle Dave gives it a 1.25 stars. I give it dose.
A lot better now. I gave it 1. Sure. This was terrible.
Yeah. This whole feud was terrible. Remember they had the 3 dudes coming out dressed like women, and they were supposed to be Lashley's sisters?
Yeah, hey, fun fact. One of those was Max Caster.
I was like, I know one of them went on to do something, but I forgot who.
Because they showed it in the build-up package here. I'm like, oh, there he is.
He should have been like, scissor me, Bobby. good crap, pal. Dude, this whole feud sucked. I didn't understand half of the motivations here. It's like, why?
Because why not?
I guess. Or, in other words,
Me, right?
The big F you.
yeah. We go backstage now where Nia Jax is talking to a referee about beating up Ronda Rousey. Why would he care? We then go to Ronda Rousey shadowboxing in front of Natalya. And
Nia's a big woman, but I still fear for her safety against legit Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I thought this was a pretty good pairing, actually, between these two. It made sense. Man, Nia Jax, like, overacted like crazy, man. Was it just me? She, like, screamed about everything. That's where we get the famous... Like,
do you remember how over she was at WrestleMania in New Orleans?
Yeah, I do. Like, you and I talked about that.
We kind of died here. You realize that?
Yeah, a bit. Well, they were kind of... Because Ronda was the new hot thing, and she was kind of old news at this point. So.
Within a couple of months. That's crazy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you and I talked about that. Now in the archives, we did WrestleMania 34 earlier this year, and she got a huge reaction in New Orleans. Well, that's how you make somebody not give a damn, a short amount of time. But the overacting comes down to if anybody remembers the crap about where she landed on her ass on the apron and yells, "My hole!"
Still don't understand that.
Yeah, like, why did you yell that? Even if you did hurt your butthole, like, why did you yell it?
It's funny, pal.
Ha! She's talking about her asshole. God dang it, pal! Put it on a shirt.
You say asshole, but butthole's funnier.
Yeah, right. It really is. But before the next match, Elias is sitting in the middle of the ring while the crowd goes nuts. He wastes a ton of time strumming on his guitar and asking who wants to walk with Elias. He says that Rollins Rollins took a piece of his soul, so tonight he's going to take the Intercontinental title. This turns into a...
Well, he is Jesus, I mean...
which one?
Yeah, right.
This turns
one of them's strumming Jesus, one of them's CrossFit Jesus. That's right. Okay.
Good God. Well, the one is Hobo Jesus. Or in shape Hobo Jesus. But this turns into a segment like Vince McMahon would apparently used to say about The Rock, where he'd say, he's shitting on him, but he's shitting ice cream. Wow. That's it.
I still find it funny that he's never really done anything. Like, he's over as hell.
Right. His matches are hit or miss. He's fine. But yeah, he's been, like, incredibly over it multiple times in his career. And it's just like, they don't do anything with him. Like, why? I feel like he's doing everything he's supposed to. I don't know. But
he should go to AEW. He looks like a damn car mechanic, so he probably get pushed.
He can do the same thing like Max Payne / Man Mountain Rock used to do. Everywhere he went, he had to do some rock star gimmick. The overweight rock star. But
remember when he was the Drifter?
Yeah. Well, that was the original thing down in NXT. It was, who wants to walk with the Drifter? And then it was...
And he had a second name, too.
Yeah. What the... Elias Sampson, that's it. Kind of like Elias better. Like, he doesn't really... it kind of fits with his gimmick. The drifting rock star kind of thing. Just Elias.
Also, he's a musician. Musicians just have one name anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like Prince or Madonna.
Prince who? So the line from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like, it's a symbol, like Prince. Prince who?
Good God. Now,
I miss Uncle Phil.
Yeah, right. Personally, when I think of Elias, I think of the nerdy virgin Christian kid from Clerks 2.
Yeah.
Say what you want about Jesus, Randall, but leave the rings out of this. Anyway.
We'll walk towards your effing mountain.
This is Seth Rollins defending the WWE Intercontinental title against Elias in 17
so
minutes.
Weird seeing him with the undercard title.
Yeah, right. Well, spoiler alert, Seth Rollins is super over.
A little bit.
Yeah, dude, he's never not been over.
It's this day.
Right. People just love this guy. Give him everything. But, like I said, I like Elias, but who the hell decided to give him and Big Cass both over a quarter of an hour in their matches? Like,
well, look who they're wrestling, to be fair. It's not like they're wrestling chumps.
Well, yeah,
when you talk about the best wrestler in the world, a lot of people, these two guys are in their top fives or their top one. So
that's what I was going to say. It's like I know they're facing the best in the world, but I don't care. Like it's too much. Although I will admit this match was a hell of a lot better than the one Bryan got at Big Cass.
I think that Elias is a little bit better than Big Cass, though.
Just a wee bit. But Seth must have bit his tongue at one point because he's bleeding out of the mouth. In the end, Rollins rolls
I just thought he took communion.
Good God. Rollins rolls through with an O'Connor roll, holds the pants and the belt of Elias, and retains his title. Uncle Dave gave this 3.5 stars. I gave it 3. What say you?
Yeah, 3.
Pretty good. Best we've seen on the night so far. After this, though, we get a commercial for Extreme Rules. And
rules.
Yeah. Well, no, never mind. I'm thinking of TLC. You remember that one year it was tables, ladders, chairs, and stairs?
Oh, good grief, yes.
Yeah, because that made it better. Let's have a stairs match, because, that's interesting.
And you know what's going to make it good? Putting Big Slow and Eric Rowan in it.
Yeah. Because when I think of 5-star matches, first I think of the central weapon being the stairs. And secondly, I think of Big Show and Eric Redbeard effing Rowan. Good God. Captain Insano and Eric Redbeard.
Show no mercy.
Oh, that match showed no mercy. It sucked.
Didn't I think Eric Rowan caught one? I kind of like the point in the head, right? He had like a knot on his head for like a month.
I don't remember, honestly. I tried to block that whole thing out of my mind.
I don't blame you.
This next match, it is the women's Money in the Bank match. It's Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Ember Moon, Lana, Natalya, Naomi, Alexa Bliss, and Charlotte Flair.
My first note on here is one of these is not like the others. Can you guess which one?
Probably Lana.
Yep. Why is she in this?
Well, you look at this cast of characters here. Sasha gone in New Japan, as we mentioned. Becky's still there and doing big things. Ember Moon's gone. She's Athena in AEW. Lana's gone.
Women over there, yep.
Yeah, Lana's doing nothing, I guess, sitting at home. Natalya's still there, supposedly about to retire anytime now. Naomi's gone. She's in Impact as Trinity. And Alexa and Charlotte are still there, kinda. But I say kinda because I don't think either one of them are wrestling right now, are they?
No.
Yeah, so this goes 18 minutes and 30 seconds. So oddly enough, Lana gets a big pop for her entrance. That kind of shocked me a bit. Lana
actually, she's not actually doing nothing. She was actually at Backlash.
Lana?
Yeah, she was in the crowd.
Why the hell would you? Of all things, she went all the way to Puerto Rico to be in the crowd.
I guess so.
That's a weird one. But Lana locks in a crappy-looking camel clutch on Alexa Bliss at one point. In the end, Alexa shoves the ladder over with Becky Lynch on top of it, climbs the ladder, and retrieves the briefcase to win. Uncle Dave gave this 4 stars. I gave it 3.5. What say you?
I gave it 3. It was the most tolerable good match I've ever seen. If that makes any sense.
It was pretty good. I liked it. I didn't think it was no damn 4 stars, but it was pretty damn good. I just remember I was pissed off at both of the Money in the Bank results this night. I was just like, you know what? Throw it all out. Just throw the whole pay-per-view out. I'm done with it. But Alexa does her patented pose with the briefcase on top of the ladder as all the loser women look up at her in anger.
All the loser women.
Yep. Well, I mean, I personally look at her husband with anger, but either way.
Wow. Yeah. If you ever saw on TV, you could.
Yeah. Backstage, Kurt Angle is chuckling to Paige and says that he's excited that a Raw superstar won the women's Money in the Bank match. Paige says she's hopeful that a SmackDown superstar will win the men's Money in the Bank match. And then Kurt makes it seem like, well, I guess. Dude, SmackDown got shit on in this era constantly.
It was still always a better show too in this era, as of right now too.
Was it this Survivor Series this year where they got shut out?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I like how Vince is like, haha, we're gonna shit on him, pal.
It's not the flagship.
And it never paid off. Like, if it paid off with something like, storyline wise, or it was significant, all right, whatever. But they just buried it. Like, they were basically telling you, oh, those are the losers on SmackDown. Watch Raw instead. And like you said, SmackDown was consistently the better show in this era.
Still is to this day.
Yeah, I don't freaking get it. But either way, Kurt makes it seem like he's gonna snipe some SmackDown talent tonight. Baron Corbin walks up looking like a casino bouncer and tells Kurt that he needs to step it up so that he doesn't disappoint Stephanie McMahon. Paige reminds us that Baron unsuccessfully cashed in his Money in the Bank contract last year, and then Corbin tells Kurt to get it done. Dude, this segment was painfully scripted. Like, the wording was so, goofy. Like, God, am I watching adults converse here? Either way. Up next, it is Jinder Mahal with Sunil Singh in his corner, taking on Roman Reigns in 15 minutes, 45 seconds. Yet another match that shouldn't have gone a quarter of an hour. Roman is great. Jinder, he's another one of them that's like, man, Roman had his working boots on, man.
This is when the fans did not like Roman that much either. You could tell.
Right. Oh, yeah. But Sunil Singh is damn near in a body cast and sitting in a wheelchair. We get a CM Punk chant during this match.
Because, of course.
Yeah, they're in Chicago. They don't like Roman. Therefore, CM Punk. Now nobody wants him. Well, I should say, they say that online that they don't want him. But if he showed up on an AEW show, everybody would cry again.
They don't want him. They need him.
Bro, CM Punk showed up. I cried, bro. Anyway, we find out during this match that Sunil is faking it because he gets up at one point and shoves Roman face first into the ring post. Jinder got his left cheek or left eyebrow or something busted open. Later on, Sunil tries to shove Roman again, but Roman stops, and then Superman punches Singh, then Jinder, and then spears Sunil. Roman finally wins with a spear. This match actually surprised me for its quality yet again. I gave it 3. Uncle Dave gave it 2.5. What say you?
I gave it 3.
Pretty good. Like I said, Roman had his working boots on, man. That should qualify. Jinder doesn't suck. It's just kind of boring at times. I don't know. His run as WWE champion is just so forgettable. Really? You? All right. But we get a promo for the WWE teaming with the Special Olympics, and they showcase a few athletes. Up next, it is Carmella defending the WWE SmackDown Women's title against Asuka in 11 minutes, 10 seconds. This match, man. Near the end, someone gets on the apron wearing Asuka's robe and mask. Asuka stares for about an eternity at this person.
I forgot who it was when I watched this back, honestly.
I was like, I think I know who it is, but they've got lady hands, so I'm going to wait. Because I could be wrong. But yeah, she effing, do you realize that? She stared for 10 minutes at this guy.
Yep.
I'm like, is this, who gives a crap? You're in a match, man. But the person takes a mask off to reveal it's James Ellsworth.
Right.
Yay. And the crowd went mild. But Carmella then super kicks Asuka in the face and wins. Uncle Dave gave it a 1.5. I gave it dose. What say you?
I gave it 1. I also not liked it.
Yeah, Carmella was hot, and then that damn bell had to ring. Her matches were boring as hell, too. But either way.
We'll be seeing her for a long time now.
Yeah, I heard she was pregnant. I saw the video online of her telling her stepkids. But
we're going to stepmother's hug.
Good God. They all seem to really love her, which is cool, because it's not always the case. But and I think, didn't they say beforehand, like, Corey said his daughter was, like, a huge Carmella fan?
Yep.
Then ended up becoming
but his son is,
stepmom.
too.
Yeah, right. Like, hey, quit taking pictures of your stepmom. They show headlines now about Ronda Rousey in newspapers and magazines, and then they show tweets from AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura to build up this next match. And now, we are here. AJ Styles defending the WWE title against Shinsuke Nakamura in a last man standing match. This one goes for 31 minutes, 15 seconds. For a bloodless match, this is pretty damn brutal. They wrestle in the ring and through the crowd. The last third of the match takes place like outside of the ring. Styles ends up winning by hitting a phenomenal forearm, jumping from the inside of the ring to Nakamura outside of the ring and putting him through the commentary table. He gets up just at the count of 8, but Nakamura does not. Uncle Dave gives this 4 stars. I gave it 3.5. What say you?
I gave it 4.
It's pretty damn good.
I don't like that I'm agreeing with this idiot so much.
I will say I obviously liked their matches in WWE, but I feel like Styles had better opponents. Like, for instance, like Cena. But either way, we roll right into the next match. It is Nia Jax defending the WWE Raw Women's title against Ronda Rousey in 11 minutes, 5 seconds. Nia mostly ragdolls Ronda, and Ronda keeps going for submissions to get out of the situations. Ronda finally gets a hold of Nia's arm, and Nia can't stop her from locking in an armbar. Before she can, however, Alexa Bliss runs in and slams her briefcase into Rousey's back, drawing a DQ for Ronda Rousey. Uncle Dave gave this 3.5 stars. I gave it 2.5. What say you?
I gave it 2.
I thought it was actually pretty good. I thought they matched up well, but you want to talk about sweating? You see Ronda Rousey's just like freaking dripping like Brock Lesnar. Like, man, she was working it, man. And, you know, they say that, you know, wrestling cardio is a lot different from any other kind of cardio. And it really is true. The only way you can, and they always stress this too, they're like, you can do all the cardio all day and it is going to help you, but unless you're actually in the ring, like having matches, it's not the same kind of thing. Because it's a lot of hurry up, stop, hurry up, stop.
I tell everybody cardio is my number 1 at the gym.
After this match, Alexa Bliss beats down both Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey with the Money in the Bank briefcase. She throws Ronda outside of the ring and tosses her over to the commentary table. Here we go.
I'd pay some good money for me to get beat up like that by her.
Yeah, right. But she tosses Ronda over the commentary table before beating Nia up some more with the case. She now cashes in the Money in the Bank contract, and here we go, man. It is Nia Jax defending the Raw Women's title against Alexa Bliss. And this goes for 35 seconds, so I think you all kind of can figure how this one's going if you don't know already. Either way, Nia is still standing and looks like she can fight, but Alexa kicks her leg out from under her, hits a DDT.
From her leg.
Go for
Kick
the
your leg out of her leg.
Sweep the leg. But anyway, she then hits Twisted Bliss for the title.
You can't stand. You can't fight.
Yeah, about all this, I just said, meh. Did you didn't rate this, did you? Because it was like half a minute.
It's a half a minute cash-in.
Yeah, there you go. The crowd went nuts. I feel like I was the only one. Like I'm impressed by certain things with Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, me too.
Her being the champion is not one of those things. I have never given I don't know. A certain friend of mine, he's obsessed with her. Me, But Nia Jax gets right up to her feet as Alexa takes off with the Raw Women's title. And there you go. But we now get another commercial for Extreme Rules before a promo for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. And that brings us to our second to last break of the night. On the other end of this, we're diving into the main event. Follow the Main Event Marks at facebook.com/Main Event Marks Pod, on Twitter at Main Event _Marks, and on Instagram at Main Event _Marks and at Main Event Collector.
What's up, everybody? I am the hardest part of the ring, the host of the Apron Bump podcast. Ugh. Another wrestling podcast. How many times can I listen to fans tell me who needs a push, who doesn't need a push, who brings Vince's coffee these days? Enough! The Apron Bump is about the journey. It's about nostalgia. It's about discovering new forms of wrestling to really tickle your pickle as a wrestling fan. The podcast brings you reviews of wrestling events all over the world, whether it's WWF, WWE, WCW, ECW. We even cover the golden eras of Ring of Honor, Progress, TNA, and more promotions in the future as well. New episodes every Wednesday. Bump Day. Yeah? Go to apronbump.com or go to your favorite podcast platform or YouTube and subscribe today for the most diverse, fan-friendly wrestling podcast in the world. I'm Hard.
Main event marks are available wherever you get podcasts and on YouTube. Find all of our links on our link tree at linktr.ee/main event marks. And we're back. It is the men's Money in the Bank match. It is Samoa Joe, Finn Balor, Rusev, Kevin Owens, Bobby Roode, The Miz, Braun Strowman, and Kofi Kingston.
Rude.
This goes just shy of 20 minutes. Speaking of him, I was super shocked to hear the news about him, man. Like,
What news?
he's going to be out until 2025.
Yeah, there's a lot of people on the injury reserve now.
Yeah, well, I guess he had neck surgery and it didn't take, or no, that wasn't it. He got one vertebrae fused, and now he's got to get another one fused. So he said he's going to be out until 2025. Like, holy crap. Like, that's bad when you're really young. He's not exactly a spring chicken.
Yeah, him and Dakota Kai tore ACL again.
Damn. That's a pretty bad injury. I gotta think, like, if Triple H was booking Bobby Roode from the get-go in WWE, he would have been a main event guy when he came up to the main roster.
I think he loves Bob Roode.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like saying that.
I would like to hope that there's enough left in the tank for maybe a top guy run when he comes back, but I guess we'll see. Obviously, I want him to be safe. I don't want him to come back if he's just going to F his neck up again. Like, I don't want that for anyone.
What did you say, 5?
Yeah.
By then, they're going to be so damn top heavy.
Right. Yeah, because
by then, Braun Breaker should be on the main roster. So should Carmelo Hayes. I mean,
yeah,
they're going to be. And look what they got. In theory, he's going to be a top guy at some point. There may be no room for him.
Well, the Miz got a huge pop for his entrance here. That one shocked me a little bit. I was like, really? Chicago? But they love the A-lister, man. But all 3 members of the New Day come onto the stage, and all 3 of them tease that they're in the match until they finally...
WrestleMania is getting ready to go back to New York at this time, so it's a rule. Whenever WrestleMania is in New York, the Miz is a face.
Yeah, right. But either way, they all finally decide that Kofi is going to be the one to take the spot in the match. Apparently, this was like...
Yeah, well, we didn't see that coming.
Yeah, right. Well, apparently this set the record for him. He beat Kane for most appearances in Money in the Bank matches. But everyone buries Braun under ladders on the stage. When he finally gets free, or he gets beat up by multiple guys, laid on a table, and Kevin Owens climbs a giant ladder.
I'm not finished with you.
Well, when Braun gets free, Owens tries to climb down, but everybody gets caught and thrown off the ladder through a table by Braun.
And he ate it, man.
Yeah, right.
Like, man, I felt that one.
You notice he's like holding the back of his neck pretty bad.
Yep.
I'm like, ooh, like, man, how hard did you hit, brah? Apparently he was going to get these hands one way or another. But in the end, The Miz climbs the ladder in the ring. Braun climbs with Kofi on his back. He knocks the Miz down.
I thought that was cool.
Right. He knocks the Miz down and then whips Kofi off of his back. Then he unhooks the briefcase to win.
He slots off like a fly, dude.
dude went flying. Wow. But Uncle Dave gave this 4.25 stars. I gave it 3.5. What say you?
I'm right in the middle. I gave it 4.
Yeah, it was good.
I loved it, except for the end.
Yeah. Didn't he unsuccessfully cash in too?
He does, yeah.
Against Brock. I think
No, it's in the Hell in a Cell against Roman. He tries against Brock, or he tries on Raw. I'm at that Raw after SummerSlam. He tries to cash in on Roman. And then the Shield reunites and screws him. I believe he cashes in the Hell in a Cell, though. And Brock costs him, if I remember right.
I remember Brock taking the Money in the Bank briefcase and beating the piss out of him with it.
That was at SummerSlam.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I'm like, was that the cash in, or did he fail? Yeah, I couldn't remember.
I think he teased like 3 or 4 times, but the bell never rang.
Yeah. So you had 2 unsuccessful cash-ins 2 years in a row. I can't remember who did it in 2016. But either way, Braun celebrates with a Money in the Bank briefcase to close the show. And that takes us to our final break. On the other side of this, we're diving into our final ratings and telling you what's coming up in July on the podcast. Follow the Main Event Marks at facebook.com/Main Event Marks Pod, on Twitter at Main Event _Marks, and on Instagram at Main Event _Marks and at Main Event Collector.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan McCarthy, and I'm the host of the No Credentials Required podcast. Start your work week with the Monday Drop-In, where I talk about the sports beat in the Capital District, also known as the Muddy 518, as well as Metro New York sports from an upstate point of view. I also give a life lesson from a weekly sports story, so you might learn something from that. I also have a midweek podcast where I interview different sports personalities and talk about a wide array of topics. Take a listen and subscribe on your preferred podcast app, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. Also check out our social media channels on Twitter and Instagram, BellyUpNCR, and Facebook.com/BellyUpSportsNCR. We're a part of the Belly Up Sports Podcast Network in association with Godzilla Media. No credentials required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Hey gang, it's Commissioner Cooper of TSS Fantasy. We are the fantasy show of the people. Expert fantasy advice, free contests, leading expert medical and legal analysis, and most importantly, you. Interact with us on all social media platforms or check us out at tssfantasy.com. You can hear us on Spotify, Apple and Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and many more. Check out the fun today and be a part of the most interactive fantasy show around. TSS Fantasy, the fantasy show of the people.
Main Event Marks are available wherever you get podcasts and on YouTube. Find all of our links on our link tree at linktr.ee/Main Event Marks. And we're back. Final ratings, y'all. Internet Movie Database gives us a 6.4 out of 10. CageMatch.net gives it 6.74 out of 10. I give it a 6.5 out of 10 for C-, D+, somewhere in there. What say you?
C+. It was decent.
Yeah, I'd probably go with a C- here. It was watchable. I've seen a lot worse. Hell, we watched a lot worse this month. So it was fine. So that does it, man. We're done with June. Just trucking right along this year, man. In the can.
We're done with June, and full disclosure, we are only in May.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so that's why we try to put a lot of dated stuff in here. That's like you can listen to it and be like, "Hey, that's old." There you go. But we try the whole intention of this podcast when we started it. I wanted everything to be evergreen. So I think I think we've succeeded in doing that. It's most episodes you can go back and listen, and you never know when we recorded it because we don't put a lot of dated stuff in there. But July, trucking through here real quick, we're starting off with a heat wave. It's ECW's Heat Wave 2000. I'm assuming that one's halfway decent.
It was okay.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and watch. The last couple ECW shows we did have actually been pretty decent. I have not hated them.
With ECW, it's all about timing. You got to pick the right year.
Right.
2000 usually safe.
Yeah. 99 was hit or miss, but had some decent stuff. 98, it's like the further back you go, the worse it gets. But that's on July 5th, the day after this nation's birthday. July 12th, we're bringing you WCW Bash at the Beach 1994. You got Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Cactus Jack, Ricky Steamboat, Steve Austin, Dustin Rhodes, Arn Anderson, Vader. Lord Steven
Nothing but a
Regal.
Hall of Famers, dude. It's
Yep.
insane that this. Look how stacked that show is. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be an amazing show. I'm just saying,
Right.
It's crazy to think like who's all on there.
And people can laugh, but the opener is a World TV title match with Johnny B. Bad, so probably going to be
bad man.
Oh, yeah. I think this is the first time I will have ever watched a Guardian Angel match, so there's that. Obviously, I've seen the Ray
Because he
Traylor.
could be the boss.
Right. I've seen Ray Traylor as the boss. I've seen him as Big Bubba. I've seen him as Big Boss Man. Never seen him as a Guardian Angel, so that'll be new.
You didn't miss anything.
Yeah. Well, the top surefire first ballot Hall of Famers that are on this card, man. Paul Roma and Bunkhouse Buck are on this card. Hell yeah.
Keep in mind, William Regal's on this card. He's not even in the Hall of Fame yet. That's crazy.
I'm sure he will be as soon as he comes back full time, but
I believe he is back full time. It's not on TV at all.
well, okay. What's funny is that Ric Flair has sensuous Sherry in his corner because she can't be sensational here.
How do they get away with that, anyways? I know it's
I
a
don't
different
know.
word, but come on. It's
I mean,
awfully
her
close. I mean, they got away.
real-
They couldn't get away with the boss, but they got away with that.
Well, probably because that wasn't his real name. I mean, Sherry is her real name, so they're probably like, well, I got to call her something. But that's that one. And then July 19th is double main event week. We've got WWF In Your House Dose. That one is the Lumberjacks. And trust me, for the most part, that match or that show is a numero dos. It's got some talent on there, but it's WWF in 95. It's an early In Your House. I mean, it is what it is, man.
It cost
And it's
$15. What did you think you were going to get?
Yeah, and it's Diesel and Sid in the main event. It's not exactly going to be a catch-as-catch-can all-time classic.
You speak for yourself.
The bonus show we're bringing, and like I said, I can't remember other than maybe that six-man ladder match. I can't think of why we booked this show. It's Nitro from July 18th, 2000.
Okay, I'm going to need you to stop saying we.
You picked it because we were looking over which ones, and you said, let's do this one. I said, okay.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that-
Well, when you give me a list of crap and, I hit on the lightest crap.
Hey, look, you can put all the caveats you want on it, all right? But it's we. So there you go. But then we're closing out the month with WCW Bash at the Beach 1998.
Keep your cats away from you, dude, because they might get that mouse in your pocket.
Wow. Bash at the Beach 1998 closes out the month, July 26th.
That's another one-match show.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to check it out. I don't know if I've ever seen.
I already have, so trust me. It's a one-match
Yeah,
show.
I haven't seen this at all. But the main event is Hollywood Hogan and Dennis Rodman taking on Diamond Dallas Page and Karl Malone. Very publicized match. This was like
And
the match
you
that
know-
they drove home.
I don't want to spoil anything, but do you know the finish of the match?
I don't.
I'm not going to
I'll
tell
have
you.
to watch.
I want you to see it.
Well-
Yeah, this hyped as hell match ends like that.
Well, we also get a no DQ match for the cruiserweight title of Chris Jericho and Rey Mysterio Jr. But it only goes
That's
6
kind of a
minutes.
spoiler because we don't know who the opponent's going to be until the show.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Now in the
Giant-
archives, by the way, the night Goldberg wins the title.
Yeah.
Dean Malenko's supposed to be in this match, gets pulled out because he beats up Jericho, and they have a no contact clause, I think.
Yeah, so stupid. But anyway, that does it for that. And that wraps up July. Thank you for joining me today, Greg.
Yep.
And we'll see you next week. We are officially in July. July 5th, it's ECW Heatwave 2000.